Ahoy there, fellow shipmate pirate type people. Welcome to the Good Ship Music Shed. I don't know. Can you think of a good name for my music shed? Imagine this was a boat. I feel like I'm on a boat. It's very rainy. I don't know if you can hear the rain. It's all miserable weather. The seas are awfully rough. Yeah, I apologise if there's any background noise, but I do feel like I'm on a boat today, which is great because we're talking about pirates again. So welcome back. This is lesson 2. Last week we talked about note values, in other words, how long a note lasts for. So I showed you a few different musical note shapes, explained their names, and we worked out how long they lasted by doing some pirate style instructions. So we are going to crack on with that, have a little recap, and then we're going to look at today's main focus, which is going to be pitch. But first, get ready for some work around the ship. Let's have a little recap on the moves and the names of the notes that we were talking about. Sorry, I mean that accent's going all over the shop today. Heave ho! We pull our rope. Each for the count of 4. Heave 2, 3, 4. Ho 2, 3, 4. And that's to match our semi-breathe. If we are doing fire in the hole, tss, like the match. Tss, boom! Each move lasts for 2 counts. That's for our minim. All right. The next one is swab the decks, scrub 2, 3, 4. Each move lasting for 1 beat, and that's to match our crotchet. And then our last one is our quaver, our super duper quick note / cheese flavoured crisp, and that is climbing to the crow's nest 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so make sure you're on your feet for that one, so you can actually pretend that you're using your feet as well. You're not just going to climb with your hands; you'll be exhausted. As we play this song, I'm going to change the pitch. We don't have to sing anything or do anything, but you might notice the sound of the music changing. I'm not going to tell you what the pitch is. Some of you may already know, but have a little listen out for the music in the background and see if you can spot what is changing, and that is where we're going today with pitch. So we're going to start here with heave ho. Ready? 1, 2, heave and heave. Ho! Put your back into it, pirate. Heave. Ho! Swab the decks and scrub 2, 3, 4. Scrub 2, 3, 4. Scrub 2, 3, 4. Now, before I do the next instruction, I'm going to change the pitch. So, see what happens to the music. So the pitch has changed. What's happened? Okay, and we're going to go up to the crow's nest. And 1 and 2 and 3, keep climbing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And then I'm going to change the pitch again. Listen carefully. What's happened to the music? Okay, so this one, fire in the hole. And tss, boom, tss, boom, tss, boom, tss. Heave ho next, and heave. Ho! Music's changed. Heave! Ho! Up to the crow's nest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and swap the decks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scrub 2, 3, 4. Fill my chords. Keep going. Keep going. One more change, up to the crow's nest. 1, 2, and 3, and keep climbing. Keep climbing. Okay, so I played my guitar very badly at places there. But did you see what happened to the music as it went along? It got faster, that's true, but the pitch changed. Who thinks they know what it means when I say the pitch changed? If you said the music something along the lines of it got higher, some people say it gets a bit brighter, but the pitch is when our notes go up and down. So that is a higher pitch than that note, and I'm going to keep going down. So those are our pitches going down and then back up again. So did you hear the direction? Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Lovely singing, I think you'll agree. And that is what we're looking at today. How to recognise different pitches in music. When we read music, a lot of the time we read off something called a stave or a staff. Okay, in the UK we will call it a stave. And these are 5 lines. I like to think of it like a musical ladder. So you climb up the ladder if you want to get higher, and you climb down the ladder to get lower. Here's a picture of a stave. Now you may notice a few things about this stave. You've got a squiggly bit at the beginning. Now this squiggly bit, it's not the only thing that you can have at the beginning of a stave, but for what we're doing, for a lot of our music sessions, we're going to be looking at this squiggly bit. But it's not called a squiggly bit. This is actually called a treble clef. Can you say treble clef? Good, well done. Now I've got a whiteboard here. I'm going to draw a treble clef. So I don't know if you can see that. I've got some lines already on it. It's a bit grubby, this one. I need to clean it. So we have our 5 musical lines. And what happens is I start on my second line. You can't really see the lines out. I'll show you. I start on my second line and I make this little shape. See if this works. I'm going to try and do this backwards. Hopefully I don't flip my screen. So I scroll around like that. I do like a little spiral. I go up to the top, down through the middle, kick out at the bottom. And that's my treble clef. That's all right. Thing is though, right, don't get too bothered about drawing these really well. You can if you want to. They're quite fun to draw when you get it. It looks a bit confusing. But once you get used to it, it's quite a fun thing to do, but it's not essential if they don't look exactly correct. If you have something along the lines of that at the beginning of your piece of music, your musicians will know what these lines mean. So when we talk about pitch and you're describing pitch to other musicians or writing it down or reading it, we think about letters. All right, now the letters that we think about are letters from the alphabet, and they're in order. And the good thing about the musical alphabet is that there are only 7 letters in it. We have A to G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Can you say that with me? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There you go, you've said your musical alphabet. There is no H, I, J or anything else on from G. All right. Once we get to G, we do repeat the alphabet again, and I'm going to show you what that sounds like, because sometimes these ideas seem a little bit weird. Also, at this point, I'm just going to say, if it does get a bit confusing, do not panic. Go back over it, and the more you do it, hopefully the easier it will be to understand. And even if at the end of the video, after you've repeated it 500 times, if it's still not making that much sense, don't panic. It's not the only way to be musical. This is a good way. With enough practice, you will understand this. I guarantee it. If I can do it, then you can do it. It's a simple rule. Just we'll approach it from different directions if this one doesn't necessarily feel the right way. Anyway, I'll stop my waffling. So I'm going to play the musical alphabet from A to G, but then I'm going to keep going, and I'll say what's happening as I go through. Now, when I do the alphabet from A, it sounds a little bit serious. We have slightly sad sounding things in music, and we have more positive sounding things in music. So we're going to start with the A natural minor scale, a very somber, serious sounding set of notes. Here we go. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if I want to keep going, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I can keep going higher. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then I start to run out of frets in my guitar. But what's happening is we're doing the same notes, but we're doing it an extra 8 notes above. We call this an octave. Thinking about the sea. What is lurking in the deep of the sea with 8 legs? A great beast, a giant octopus, 8 legs, 8 tentacles. So that's got 8 legs. An octave in music is when we leap up 8 notes. So think about your octopus and that will hopefully help you remember octave. So let's try and sing the notes as we go up. Now match the note of my guitar, and we'll see if we can how high we can go. Ready? And A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Slightly higher. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Watch out, guys. A, B, C. I got nothing left. D. I think if I had sung there, things would have shattered and ears would have fallen off and all that kind of stuff. But you can see what's happening with the note. It gets higher and higher and higher, but it's the same note. It's just a higher version of it. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry. It's a weird thing to understand. Over time, it will start to sink in a bit better. So that's how they sound. But how do they look on the stave? So here's my stave. I've got a little phantom treble clef there. It wouldn't rub out. But what we're going to do, I'm just going to draw little circles. I'm going to do semi-brief shapes. Don't worry about the shape of the note. We're just going to worry about its position. We're going to think about its position. So I'm going to worry about it. What am I saying? Worry. Don't worry. We're going to think about its position. So I'm going to draw my first note on this line. Now, when you're drawing your note, your note is either going to be on the line or in the space. So it's either going to have that line going through the middle or it's going to be in that gap there. So this one, I call it on the line. Okay. Now, if we see that shape there, if we've got a note there on that line, can you see the lines going through the middle? And you've got our squiggly treble clef at the front. If that's there, I know that that note is E. Okay, again, like I said, annoying thing in music, we don't just start with the letter A, so it's not that. You'll see a pattern, don't panic, all right? Now I'm going to concentrate the lines on the notes, on the lines and the spaces. We're going to go in order. Now if I do one here, the next one along, I'm going to see how long it takes us to figure out the pattern. So this note is in the space, can you see? So that one's on the line, that one's in the space. And this, let's see how long it takes for you to get the pattern. Who knows what it is? If you said F, well done, that's an F. Who can spot the pattern? So we're going to do one on this second line now. Okay, who thinks I know what that is? G. Cool. Right, that's the end of our musical alphabet. So what happens next? We go on to A. So it's in that second space, and we've gone on to the letter A. So I think hopefully we start to spot a bit of a pattern. If not, let's see if we can work this one out. So I'm going to go on the third line. Didn't quite get it on the line there, but can you see it's going through the middle, and that's a B. So what comes after B in our musical alphabet, and indeed our normal alphabet, it's going to be the letter C. Excellent. And then I'm going to go into the fourth line. So that one's on the fourth line, it's going to be a D. And then that one in the top space is an E. And then we might as well get to the top line. Oh, I missed again. That's technically got the line going through it, but that one is, and I will put a picture of a slightly neater version on the screen. Now, those are not the only notes in the whole of music. You can go higher and you can go lower. So if I want to, I can keep going up here. See that they've got a nice little diagonal pattern, haven't you? And I could also keep going down that direction. We're not going to talk about that today. We will talk about that next week because we need to mention something called ledger lines, but don't worry about that so just yet. If you look at the notes in the line, you have E, G, B, D, F. Now, some people have a few little mnemonics, so in other words, a sentence with each word starting with the first letter of each of those words. So the one that is quite common for this one is every green bus drives fast. It's true. Do you see many green buses? No, because they're driving so fast, you can't even see them. So every green bus drives fast. And then in between, can anybody anyone see a word that's spelt out in the notes in between? So we've got our F, A, C, E. So in between, it spells face. Good. Have a little look at that for a little while. See how many words that you can find in our stave. So for example, rearrange some words. I can find the word egg, E-G-G. So you can use the same letter twice. We've got F-A-C-E. You could write bed, B-E-D. Spend a couple of minutes having a little think about how many words you can find using letters from our musical alphabet. So how many words did you find? There is no limit, okay? Just you can find a couple if you want to. You can keep going. Find as many anagrams as you can. Unjumble those words. But now what we're going to do, using the sheet that is attached as a little reference guide, we're going to do a bit of a quiz. What will happen is a picture will come up on the screen of a note in a certain position. I want you to have a look at it, match it up with your diagram. So once it pops up, pause it, and then press play again, and then the answer will come up underneath. So here we go, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. How did you get on? Now, don't worry if you didn't get them all. It doesn't matter at this stage, but keep practicing and then go over it. Watch it again. If it didn't make sense, watch it again and just match them up with your diagram. Eventually, it will start to make sense, and then we can really get on with, we can start looking at our treasure map, which is going to be quite an exciting thing. So we're going to finish off with a sea shanty. So this is a nice big song, and it's called Roll the Old Chariot Along. Now, when we talk about chariot, a chariot is an old thing that you attach to horses with wheels in it, but we're comparing our ship to a chariot. And there are, it's about how we're just motivating our crew, and it's a song to keep the momentum of the ship going, keep our spirits up, and it's all about making sure that we get around our voyage safely. The first verse goes, "Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails." So that would be, if the wind is blowing, your ship's going to move quicker. All right. And then the second verse, "We'd be all right if we make it round the Horn." Now, when they talk about the Horn, if you look at a map, I'll show you a little picture of South America. Ping! That bit at the bottom, they used to refer to that as the Horn. I think it still is called the Horn, but that would be, it looks like a little horn. So make it around there. A very perilous and dangerous voyage for pirates. And then, "A night on the town wouldn't do us any harm." Ask your grown-ups what a night in the town is. They'll say, "Oh, I remember many years ago we used to go out on the town." That's what they might say. So that's just going out and having a good time. And then I'm going to add an extra verse about sometimes you might just want to stay in bed a little bit longer. So a little lie-in won't do us any harm. Maybe on a Saturday morning or something. So here we go. We're going to roll the old chariot along. I'm going to do my best booming pirate voice. Here we go. Ready? Ready? Ready. We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails, and we'd all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Second verse, we'd be all right if we make it round the Horn. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it round the Horn. We'd be all right if we make it round the Horn. We'd be all right if we make it round the Horn, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Night of the town. Well, a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a little lie-in wouldn't do us any harm. Yes, a little lie-in wouldn't do us any harm. Yes, a little lie-in wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind. Right, here we go. And we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind. One more time, lads. And we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind. Ha-ha! Cool. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. So that's a nice bit. You can sing that really nice and big. Big singing. It's a very unprofessional way of referring to it, but I think it sounds right. Big, sing big. Sing big. Good. Well done. So we will carry on next week. We'll start to put together our note values and our pictures and see if we can actually start to decode some sort of treasure map clues. Until then, have a super duper week/weekend, evening, morning, holiday, I don't know, wherever you are. Have fun. Take care. See you soon. Bye.